What's good, people? CJ Williams here with Culturalist Theory, and today we're going to give you a breakdown of the legendary group A Tribe Called Quest's albums. Active from 1990 up until the 2016 death of late member Malik Phife Dawg Taylor, the four-man crew from Queens, New York have put out a total of 6 studio albums. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That super thanks button is there, by the way, too. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right into it. Number 6, The Love Movement. Dropping in the fall of '98, The Love Movement was the Tribe's swan song, as they had broken up shortly before the album was released. Well, you know, it was their last album until it wasn't. More on that later. Sonically, The Love Movement builds on the sound laid down by their previous efforts. But this time around, Consequence is completely out, leaving room for some other MCs to fill in the blanks. Busta Rhymes and Redman throw down on Stepping It Up, whereas we're treated to a dope posse cut at the end of the project with the likes of Punchline, Jane Doe, Wordsworth, and Mos Def on Rock Rock Y'all. However, Noriega's appearance on Give Me definitely fails to impress. Same goes for Hot For You and Against the World. Tip and Phife hold things down themselves on Pad and Pen, The Booty, as well as the radio-friendly singles Like It Like That and Find a Way. There was also a limited edition release of the album with 6 additional tracks, which are now attached to the versions currently available through your favorite streaming service. And to be honest, most of those joints hit harder than the main album does. Check out Busta Getting Loose on 1-2 Shit, for instance.
Bring it to the table at the meetings, gathering large receivings, delivering intellectual ass beatings as I carry on with my proceedings.
And therein lies the issue with The Love Movement. Their older material exposes the mediocrity of their newer music. Sure, it's moderately enjoyable, but it was evident their glory days had dried up by now. Ultimately, this was not the closing chapter of their story, something we're certainly grateful for. Number 5, Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Alright, so there's a whole good side, bad side situation with this album right here. Yes, it was their first album to hit number 1 on both the Billboard 200 and hip hop and R&B charts and go platinum. But with Q-Tip's conversion and faith, the addition of his cousin Consequence, plus an up-and-coming producer by the name of JD, later known as J Dilla, the resulting Beats, Rhymes, and Life sounded radically different from their first 3 albums. Yes, the 5-foot assassin went in a bit harder this go-round, but Cousin C's whiny delivery and borderline rhymes detract more than they help. JD's greatest contributions turned out to be the singles, Once Again and Stressed Out, featuring Faith Evans. Yeah, the album version with Consequence is alright, but we definitely prefer the single version with Baby Phife instead. We do get some nice back and forth flows from the 3 guys on Motivators, while Q-Tip addressed the whole East Coast West Coast beef situation at the time on Keep It Moving. Phife's name dropping Frenzy on the Hop will get you to thinking that the game caught wind of it when he was growing up, only to adopt it as a major part of his future raps. Tracks like What Really Goes On, The Pressure, and Crew really don't deserve your time. So while we do get some decent rhymes here and there, the beat selection will either grow on you or keep you far away from it. In the late 80s, A Tribe Called Quest, alongside De La Soul and the Jungle Brothers, began the hip-hop collective known as Native Tongues. Additional primary members included Black Sheep, Boney Love, Queen Latifah, and a host of others. They've done a number of collaborations on each other's projects over the years, and we want to know, what are some of your favorite Native Tongue jams? Go ahead and share those songs with us down in the comments below. Number 4. People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm. A Tribe Called Quest arrived on the scene in the spring of 1990 with their friendly yet witty and profanity-free flows to flip the image and the style of the typical rappers that we've been used to. Look no further than the first track, 7-minute long Push It Along or Public Enemy, their cleverly veiled safe sex jam, which explains why Tip was willing to make that second trip back to El Segundo, because his wallet held those all-important Jimmy hats he needed. And not since LL Cool J's I Need Love had we seen any rapper bear their softer side toward the ladies, as Tip does on the all-time classic Bonita Applebum. Right behind that is another early hit, Can I Kick It, and fan favorite Youthful Expression. For Instinctive Travels being Tribe's first time out, it garnered a lot of critical acclaim, even becoming the first album to ever receive the highly coveted 5 mic rating from the Source magazine. While the album certainly had lots of influence and has stood the test of time, songs like Luck of Lucian and the playfully silly Ham and Eggs hold it back from true perfection. But as the crew would mature and gain more experience, their music would get even better down the line. Number 3, We Got It From Here, Thanks for Your Service. The late Phife Dawg posed the question, who can come back years later and still hit the shot on the track track We the People. He, Tip, Shaheed, and long-lost groupmate Jerobi White reunited 18 years after their 5th album to answer that question on 2016's We Got It From Here, Thanks for Your Service. Since the Trinity Gladiator had earned his wings prior to the completion, the remaining crew called up some of the homies for assistance. No longer the whiny voiced kid he used to be, matured 6th Man Consequence resurfaces to put points on the board with contributions to Whatever Will Be and The Killing Season, the latter also featuring Talib Kweli and Kanye West. Frequent collaborator Busta Rhymes hits nothing but net when he breezes through, especially on the back and forth rhyme fest of this generation. Oddly enough, rap's GOATs Andre 3000 and Kendrick Lamar each shoot bricks on Kids and Conrad Tokyo respectively. Overall, there's a lot of social consciousness and wittiness woven in throughout, with a modernized sound that's distinctively Quest. After the final whistle, We Got It From Here secures the tribe with a solid win to properly close out their career. The name-checked Linden Boulevard from their classic Check the Rhyme track was renamed Malik Phife Dawg Taylor Way shortly after his March 2016 passing, and as Jerobi proclaimed in Moving Backwards, his legendary style of rap will live on. Peak positions atop the hip-hop and R&B and Billboard 200 charts echo those sentiments. Continue to rest in power, Malik. As with most groups, Tip, Shaheed, and Phife Dawg all eventually embarked on solo endeavors over the years, with varying degrees of popularity and success, the most recent being a posthumous release from Phife last year. Get Involved with Q-Tip and Raphael Sadiq from the PJ soundtrack and that Dance Tonight joint by Lucy Pearl are the first ones that come to mind for us. Tell us about your favorite solo tribe-related project in the comments below. Appreciate it. Number 2, Midnight Marauders. Truly finding their stride here, Midnight Marauders sees the young brothers from Queens rocking the mic hard with more memorable rhymes and fly beats. Large Professor produced and appeared on the thumper Keep It Rollin', while Phife Dawg uses his solo joint to report his continuous string of problems in entertaining fashion on 8 Million Stories. Usually if we catch an MC repeating the same verse within the same song, that's an easy call out on them being lazy. But in the case of Suck a Nigga N-Word, we can gather that Tip was going for emphasis on where the phrase came from and how its use has evolved over time. Then of course there's that super catchy joint named Award Tour with De La Soul's Tragoy the Dove on the hook, showing how flawlessly they can ride any beat thrown at them, and that super cool laid back song Electric Relaxation with one of the most bitten off phrases in hip hop.
I like 'em brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. Name is Phife Dawg from the Zulu Nation.
There's plenty of slick lines on this album that'll go right over your head if you're not paying attention. And that's the genius within most of Midnight Marauders. With so many thought-provoking gems here, these two weren't kidding when they claimed to have lyrics to go. Having a maximum of 2 skips at best, this one should definitely be in your top 10 hip-hop albums of the 90s with ease. Number 1, The Low End Theory. Dropping in the fall of 1991, The Low End Theory is considered as Tribe's breakout album for many reasons. The singles alone had enormous influence. Before your favorite hip-hop band The Roots officially debuted, the Tribe told you they've got the jazz. Anyone with a basic knowledge of hip-hop's golden era will know who's on point and at what boulevard from the timeless joint Check the Rhyme. Scenario introduced the world to a young, fire-breathing dungeon dragon by the name of Mr. Busta Rhymes, and also has the slickest lines of innuendo by the Trinity Gladiator that's ever gotten airplay.
I'm all that and then some, short, dark, and handsome, bust a nut inside your eye to show you where I come from.
Ah yes, the days before even the most sensitive censors realized what was really being said. Besides that, Record Industry Game was dropped on Show Business featuring Diamond D, as well as Lord Jamar and Sadat X from Brand Nubian. And Q-Tip had demanded that you give him his spec on verses from the Abstract well before Birdman had pouted for some years later.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
On top of all that, the Low End Theory was selected to be preserved in the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress in 2021. So how's that for some respect? With all of that jazzy, smooth beats and diamond clear flows sparkling littered throughout, it's no wonder they didn't feel the need to sweat Arsenio Hall nor the charts for any type of fame. The music did all that talking for them. And that's going to do it for us here at Culturalist Theory today. As always, tell us your thoughts on the list in the comments below. Do you agree, or do you have a slightly different order in mind? Once again, it's your man CJ Williams signing off. Hit those like, subscribe, and share buttons, and we'll get at you another week.